Hey there, I see you're interested in Volkswagens. Maybe you had one, maybe you have one now, or maybe you're looking to buy one. This video will be going over 3 extremely weird problems that happen with these cars, but they're problems that are extremely common and happen to pretty much all Volkswagens, regardless of model, year, and all of that stuff. This video will prepare you for when these problems happen with your Volkswagen, because with these cars, it's not really a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and you almost definitely will have some combination of the problems that I'm going to talk about in this video. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the first problem. This is an odd problem that's happened on 3 out of the 4 Volkswagens that I've owned, and even though it's not a major safety concern, it is a bit of a hassle, and like I said, it's extremely common. This problem is mirror flap. So what happens is Volkswagen used an adhesive to adhere the mirror glass to the backing plate that wears out over time, and your mirror ends up separating from it, and as you drive down the road the thing flaps back and forth and it makes it so stuff's not clear. If you don't fix the problem early, your mirror glass could fall off and then you need to replace the glass entirely, and this one's really just a bit of a hassle. Since we're Volkswagen owners and not BMW owners, we actually like to use our mirrors, so we need to make sure that they stay in good shape. Luckily, these things are pretty easy to fix, and all you have to do to fix it is remove the glass entirely and then use a new adhesive or a 2-way tape to stick it back on to the backing. I have a full video on the channel showing you how to fix this, but like I said, it's very common. Catch this one early so you don't need to replace the glass entirely and you'll be in good shape. Now, let's spring ahead to the next problem, which is coil springs. Yes, that was a bad joke, but yes, this is a very common problem, and I personally have had it happen on 2 out of the 4 Volkswagens that I've owned, and I've had friends also have this problem with theirs. This one certainly is a bigger problem than mirror flap, and it's going to cost you more time and more money to fix. If you don't fix this one, it could become a safety concern, and even when it first breaks, it could be a safety concern. So what happens is the actual coil springs on these cars tend to fail. The coil springs literally break. Now, some of them break after lots of use and corrosion, and they rust and tend to break, but even some new models were affected, which I'll get into soon. So if your coil spring breaks, it's more likely to pop off of the spring seat and cause your corner of the car that it breaks on to become unsupported, and you'll have a much harder time controlling the car if that happens suddenly. Now, on all of the cars that I've seen, they have cracked on the spring perch. I've seen some on the front and some on the rear, and if that happens, your car is still supported, but you want to fix it as soon as possible. Now, to know that you have this problem, you might hear some weird creaking and sort of pinging at the front or the rear springs of the car. You want to inspect them and see if they're broken. At first, I thought this problem was only Mark V's because I had the front coil springs fail on my Mark V GTI. My friend had that happen on his Mark V Jetta. I had this happen right now on this Passat, but it turns out that even new models are affected, and Volkswagen just recalled a long list of models that are basically brand new cars that have had coil spring failures. So if you want to learn how to fix coil springs, definitely check out this video on my channel. And even though this is a safety concern, don't be overly concerned about it until you think you have some signs of failure, or unless your car was one of the ones recalled. And moving on to the last one on the list, which is really a combination of 2 that are similar, though not directly related, we have door locks and power window failures. Now, of course, I couldn't make a list of Volkswagen problems without having some electronic issues in there, so this is what I decided to put. Now, it's very common to have power window switches fail. You'll press the switch and it's supposed to be an automatic window and go all the way down, and it won't go all the way down, it'll just go when you're pressing the switch. Or sometimes they develop a mind of their own and they'll go up when you're pressing down, and you'll just have problems. I've had that happen on 2 of my cars. On this car, one of the windows just won't go down at all. I don't know if this is a switch problem or a motor problem, because to be honest, it doesn't really matter to me that much because it's a rear window on this thing. But just know that those fail a lot. Also, power locks tend to fail. I had that happen on my first Volkswagen, and it's very common across a lot of models once again. And the thing that's the biggest pain about this is you have to remove the door skin to get into the mechanism, and it's just a decent job if you want to do it yourself, and it'll take someone a decent amount of time to fix this problem. None of this stuff is super costly if you do it on your own, but it is a bit of a pain replacing all of these parts. One quick thing that I would like to make a note of is if your power locks fail, you're not completely screwed, and it's not like you're going to be forever locked out of your car or anything like that, and it's not like you're never going to be able to lock your car. So Volkswagen knew that this was going to be a common problem, so they left a plug right here that you could pop out, and then you just stick something in here to lock your car. You also could unlock your car by sliding the piece that goes over the door here out of the way, and then there's a lock mechanism under there. So once again, you're not completely screwed if this happens, but it is a hassle to replace. And with all that, that wraps up the list of my 3 most common but very weird problems that happen with Volkswagens. Let me know down below if you've had any of these problems with your car, and let us know the make, model, and when this problem happened to help other Volkswagen owners out. Also, don't forget to add anything down there that you also think is a very common but very weird problem that happens with these cars. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more, and I hope you stick around for the next one. Take care.